Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I'm going to be making a card with the new Craft a Flower Carolina Allspice layering die set from Altenew. This one I love. It's got not only this layering flower, which by the way I put on this nice thick magnet board so I can put it in order of how they cut out. It makes it so much easier for me. Anyway, it has a flower and also a couple of leaves and this thanks die. It's so perfect for creating a simple flower. You've got everything you need in one die set. So today I'm going to be pulling out some colors. I had in my mind to create kind of a peachy pink flower today and then a bright blue background. So I'm looking through all of my colors and I'm just flipping through what I have here from my cardstock packs. It's so handy to have these, and I'm just pulling out a bunch of colors. Now I'm going to do the leaves, and I wanted the leaves to be more of a muted green, not a bright green. So I've got a blue and a green there that I'm going to use for the leaves. Here is a tip for you. If you don't have the colors of cardstock that you need, then go ahead and just color up some cardstock with your inks. So here I didn't have a dark enough green. I'm going to go over it with this darker oxide. There are 4 different layers or 3 different layers to each leaf. And so I wanted a darker green as well. So I inked up part of the green darker and so that I could use that as a layer. And now I'm just going to put these all in order and figure out how I want the flower to turn out. I went ahead and die cut these leaves. I ran it through my die cut machine and I wanted to show you how simple these are. They're 3 layers a piece and all you have to do is just dry fit them, make sure they are to the right leaf, and then glue them together. Very, very simple, and look how beautiful these turn out. So I like that there are 2 different styles of leaf. So here I'm going to put together the second leaf. I like this one as well. I'm just going to show you 2 different leaves, putting them together so you can get an idea of what comes in the kit, but I did put together a few extra leaves as well. So there you go, there's the end to this one, and take a look at how beautiful these are. I love the layering dies that Altenew does. I always am impressed. There are those shapes, and you can use these for other things as well. It doesn't have to be just for this application. So here we go. I'm going to lay out all the flower dies in a row with which layer is going to go to which. So here's what I decided to do. The darkest one is going to be the middle layer and the lightest will be the first layer. So on the very, very bottom. So here you can see how this is all going to come together. And as I say, I do like to put these together without glue at first. I like to make sure that I'm going to be putting them in the right direction. And there is a layering guide, so if you get a little bit lost, it'll show you exactly where they go. So I usually put that layering guide right next to me as I'm building my first flower, and that really helps to get them all in the right place. And then the second and the third and the fourth and any subsequent flowers that I'm making are a lot easier to put together. So see how this is going to turn out, so very pretty. And now I'm just going to attach them all with liquid glue. This is my favorite way to put these together. You could, of course, add some adhesive sheets to the back of your cardstock before you cut them out, and that would turn them into stickers and you could easily put them together. I usually forget to do that before I cut anything out, so I just go with my tried and true liquid adhesive. I know this is going to keep all the layers together nicely. My card is not going to fall apart, and it will be very, very simple, so that's what I choose to do. For the smallest pieces, I'll usually add the liquid adhesive to the flower and then attach that little tiny piece with a gem picker, my magic wand tool here. And here is the finished flower. Look how beautiful that is. Now a lot of my layers are very similar in color, so you're not seeing the huge contrast, but use lots of different colors and it always turns out wonderful. I'm just going to try to arrange them in a format for my card here, and I decided on the rest of the leaves I wanted the middle piece a little darker. So you can see I added some darker teal color to that. This Tartan Teal is a favorite ink of mine, so that really made those leaves pop. Now to create the background, all I'm doing is adding some mint tape around the edges to create kind of an inside rectangle that I can ink up. Now, if you have a spotlight stencil, you could use that so easily here. I didn't have my spotlight stencil handy, so I'm just using some tape to show you that you don't need any fancy stencils. You can do this at any time. And the reason I'm doing this is I wanted a nice white border. I'm going to use that same Tartan Teal ink color to start inking this background. And you're going to see how beautiful this background is, and it will pick up on the middle color in the leaves, so everything is going to coordinate together beautifully. I usually tap off on the side before I ink onto my paper. Otherwise you get kind of a splotch, and you can see I got one there, but no worries, I'm going to be covering that up with the flowers anyway. I love this large blending brush for getting color on quickly and making a diffused look with the ink. It goes on really soft, so you can build it up in spots to be darker. You can see I'm doing an ombre look with the darkest at the right hand side here, which eventually is going to be the bottom side of my card, and the lightest at the top. And I will have to trim off a little bit of that left side because I didn't get it on too straight. Here's a tip for you: if you have one of these boards that has the lines, here I'm just using my glass mat, you can line them up on the lines so that you get them straighter. So I went ahead and redid mine because I wasn't happy with, I got one of the lines a little bit crooked. I should know better because I do this trick all the time. I do prefer working on my craft mat though. So I generally have this covered, but using those ruler guides is really, really helpful to getting things straight. So yes, I did this all over again, but it's very, very quick to do. This time I had a piece of paper to kind of tap off that ink, and I got a much better result this time. Just gonna peel that tape off slowly. I like this mint tape because it never rips my paper. It's a nice low tack. So there's the new panel, and this is going to be kind of how I arrange things. I decided though that it needed some splotches in the background to give it a little more texture, but look how pretty that's going to turn out. So I went ahead and took a water mister here, and I sprayed it into my hand and then dropped it onto the panel. I wanted to have some bigger droplets, and then I decided I didn't like those, but it's okay because I'm going to cover them up with flowers. So I just sprayed directly to the panel and got a really light mist and some really small splotches, and that really did make a difference on this background. So you can see the flowers are going to cover up the big splotches that I didn't like, but we're still going to get some of those little ones around the rest of the panel, and that's going to look really beautiful. I have plenty of leaves here to play with, so I'm just going to arrange this the way that I want, add that thanks that I die cut with some black cardstock, and put this all together with the liquid adhesive, but I will pop up the top flower with some foam tape. I'm going to use some of that mint tape I used on the background just to pick up this flower and leaf at the same time, and I'll glue down the back flower and those two leaves right here, just like so. Just kind of arranging that the way I think it looks the best. The one thing I love about liquid adhesive is you have some time to rearrange, and I usually use that. So there is that, and then the top flower with some foam tape. There we go, just like that. And then just gluing down the thanks die with the liquid adhesive straight to the panel. The last thing there is to do is to add a few embellishments. So I've got some of these silver baubles to add, and these are kind of a matte bauble. They look so pretty with this. And then I added it to a top folding card base. So there's our card for today. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Carolina Allspice Build-A-Flower die set. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Until then, happy crafting. Bye-bye.